Namaste everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel Roots and Voices India. In this session, we will discuss how to roll back truncated data from a table. So in our last session, we have already discussed what is table, like how this table structure looks. Also, we have discussed like what all things we have covered yet. Also, we have discussed what is truncate, why we are using truncate, and how to use truncate. And when we are using truncate, how it is affecting our data. So now we'll see how to recover those truncated data. So before truncating any data, we have to keep something in our mind that whether we are truncating the data permanently or like we want to recover it like if needed. So in that case, so we can follow two ways. Either you are taking backup of all the data available in that particular table, and if you are thinking like no, the data volume is too high and I cannot take backup of that particular table, so what we can do, so in that case we can keep the rollback option open. So what is rollback? We are using rollback command to recover truncated data in SQL. We can only roll back truncate operation if they are executed within an active transaction and a commit command has not yet been issued. Once truncate is committed, the data is removed by deallocating the data pages and a transactional rollback is not possible. So what it is saying, so if we if you ran the commit command, then we will not get those truncated data. So what is a transaction in SQL? A transaction in SQL is a single logical unit of work that comprises one or more SQL statements. It is a fundamental mechanism for ensuring data integrity and consistency by guaranteeing that either all statements within the unit are executed successfully and permanently saved, or none of them are rolled back. This all or nothing principle is vital for operations where multiple data modification must be happened, such as transferring fund between bank account, which involves both a debit and credit operation. So in that case, we should open a transaction so that like in case we need to roll back the data, we can roll back those data as per our requirement. So what is commit in SQL? To commit a transaction in SQL, you use the commit command. After a begin transaction statement, this command permanently saves all changes made during the transaction to the database, making them visible to other users and preventing them from being rolled back. So we'll see how all these things affecting our data. So if you are truncating some data from our database, how we can recover those data, or like in which scenario we cannot recover all those data. So if you are deleting those data, so in that scenario we have to go for complete recover of the database. Like if you have removed all the like whatever data we have deleted as of now, we'll go to recover the whole database, then only we can get those data. It might impact our business. So now we'll see how we are doing all those things. Let's go to our SQL. So we have already covered alter, as you can see over here. Now we'll see what all data we are having in the table. So if I'll execute this query, this many data we are having in this table. So now we'll see like if I'm using truncate, how I can recover those data. Before truncating the data, we have to keep one thing in our mind. So we have to start or begin one transaction so that like what all operations we are performing, that will be saved under that transaction. So we have to do begin transaction. I have to give a transaction name, recover data. Then I will execute this query. Then I will check the data here. So we are having this much of data. Now we go for truncate I will go for truncate table, then table name, truncate table name. If I'll execute this query, so now our data is being removed. Let's see. There is no data within our table. So now I want to recover those data. To recover, we are using rollback command, rollback. Then I have to recover the data from the transaction, because like all the deleted data is being saved in the transaction. So rollback transaction, then which transaction I have to roll back? Recover data. If I will execute this query, the command completed successfully. So I'll check the data here. So now you can see all the data is recovered. So if I want to delete this data permanently, what I can do? So right now we are having this much of data. So what I'll do now, I will remove this rollback command. Okay, so again I'll run this one, execute, then again we started this transaction. I'll go to here, I'll truncate. So I will go here, I will write commit, I'll write commit table, commit transaction. Then I will, which one I have to commit? I want to commit data. So if I will execute this query now, successful. So if I'll check the data, there is no data. If I will try to recover the data, so a rollback transaction, then recover data. Then if I'll execute this query, it will throw error. See, the rollback transaction request has no corresponding begin transaction. So that means like it's being end over here because like it is committed. So again if I'll run this one, again I'll start this one. Then if I'll roll back it, still it will say like rollback successful, but we will not get those data back because already this data deletion process which you have followed to truncate the table. After that, we have already used the commit transaction. That means like the data which you have deleted, that's being deleted permanently from our table. So that we cannot roll back the data. So we have two things we have to keep in our mind. Before using truncate, we have to start the begin transaction. We have to start the transaction. So once we start the transaction, then only we'll use the truncate table command. After that, we have to keep one thing in mind. So if we want to roll back those data, we will not use the commit transaction. So if we will use the commit transaction, then we will lose, we will delete our data permanently from our database. After that, there will be only one option left, like we have to recover the whole database to get those data back. So that is something we have to keep in our mind before deleting any data from database. So if you are using truncate, so we should know like how to recover those data. So if needed, we can recover those data. So for that, we have to start a transaction, and if needed, we can recover those data, and we will not use the commit transaction. So that like if we'll use commit transaction, then we'll remove all those data completely from our database. So then you can say like, then why we are using commit transaction? At some scenario, what might happen? Like we don't need those data and we don't want someone to see those data going forward. So that if we will commit those data, then we will remove those data permanently from our database so that nobody can access those data from our table. So that's why we are using commit transaction, so that we can delete those data permanently. Or if you want to save the data, like if you are performing some data updation, for an I'm saying, and I want to save those data updation permanently. For an example, I am changing some data, I am updating some data in a column, and I want to save those data permanently, then I can use the commit transaction so that it will be saved in our database permanently. So for that reason, we are using commit transaction, and the begin transaction we are using to begin a transaction. The truncate table we are using to delete all the data from a table, and it will keep only the table structure. And the rollback transaction we are using to roll back all those data, to recover all those truncated data from our table. Okay. So if you are having any doubt, please comment below so that I can go through those comments. If needed, I will definitely bring some new videos on your comments, like if you're having any doubt. Okay. Thank you for watching the video. Take care.